secrets of different bills. At Uncle Demi, you need it, I got it listed here. You wanna make it, I'll show you just how to make it here. I got all the rarest bills, and I ain't done yet. Went from the finish to making bills like a prospect. Flow space and slashes to catching us with a law threat. You keep the medals cause the right one's coming up next. Only scratch the surface. Still they try to drag my name in dirt, they try to bring me down. See me winning, you ain't like me.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is your man, Uncle Demi, and today I have another special banger for you. Alright, now listen up. Before we get into this video, you know exactly what you need to do. Go ahead and drop a like for your favorite old head Uncle Demi right now, man. Go ahead and drop that like real quick for me. Go ahead and drop the like, alright? Because you know it's about to be a banger. You know how I do, man. So just drop a like, show the love up front. Or, you know, hey, you can wait to the end, no matter, man. Just make sure you drop a like regardless. In the beginning or the end, drop a like. Let's get this video to 1,500 likes, right? Because obviously, as many likes as we get, it will push this to the recommended. So that's what we exactly want. That's what we want to do. We want to make sure this video is recommended and is being pushed around on YouTube algorithms, right? So, also, we're currently sitting at 67,594 nephews and nieces. Obviously, we're trying to get to 70,000 by the end of this month. So let's continue to sub up, let's continue to like up the videos, and let's continue this movement to 2K21, where you know we about to go crazy on the new console, man. I cannot wait till PlayStation 5 comes out. But yeah, so let's get straight into this video. We're gonna make the absolute best all-around two-way. Now, I will say this, listen, we all know at the point guard spot is where you can get the absolute best, okay? We know this already. We know this 100%. You can literally go to point guard and you're gonna see a massive difference. See right here, point guard is gonna give you 416, right? Upgrade opportunities. And then if you go to shooting guard, it is gonna give you 438, right? But that's deceiving for some reason, shape, or form. Check this out. You go to point guard, all right? Same thing real quick, all right? For some reason with point guard, and we're gonna do, this is what, if you want the absolute best, this is what you'll get, all right? We'll do something like this. This is how you get the absolute best. This is the absolute best. All around 8, 16, 11, and 20, okay? This is the absolute best version right here, okay? You want to keep compact, you want to go 6'1", you want to stay at 182, you want to keep your wingspan the same, right? That's the absolute best. We want to do shooting guard, right? I want to do the shooting guard version because a lot of us are tired of seeing the point guard position. So I want to give the shooting guard some love. Plus, I want to get the similarity to Allen Iverson. So even though you're going to have more badge upgrades here, right? We still want to go balanced because we want the strength. For some reason, shape, or form, it just does not show you any love. Remember how we did that all the way up here and we had 8? Look at that. You get 4 right here. Isn't that crazy? So remember when we maxed out just now in the point guard spot, we maxed out the top 3 and we went her a little bit. It was 8. But when you do it here, it's only 5. All right? We max out this right here. Look how much it takes. That's only 14, right? You only get 15 here instead of 16. So what I had to do was, I didn't want to waste all these attributes because it sucks. I went here. So instead of getting 16, you only get 13. Instead of getting 8, you only get 5, right? And then of course, same thing here. Remember here, you had 11. Now we have to go so much higher to 42, right? To get 11, right? Where beforehand, you only had to do 31. So remember, we had to go 31 here to get that post move. We only had to go 39 here and we got 8. I mean, it's like I said, it's so much better at the point guard spot. But if you're like me, you're like, hey man, I don't want to see the point guard spot. I want to see it from this perspective. So that's why you're going to have it set up like this, right? So let me make sure I got this right here. So then we took the last 5 and we can throw it here. It doesn't matter. We can throw it here. Okay, so this is what we're going to look at. 5, 13, 11, and 18. Remember, for the point guard spot, it was 8, 16, 11, and 20. But again, these are still going to be the same type of versions, other than the fact this has blocks maxed out. Whereas on point guard spot, the block was only at a 44. This is maxed out. But I just wanted to show y'all the shooting guard version, and I'm gonna try to show y'all shooting guard versions of these builds because everybody sees the point guard position. But let's keep it clear, 100%. The point guard position is going to give you the best build of any build. If you can make a build name at the point guard spot, it is going to have the most badges, okay? That is just how 2K made the game. 2K, for some reason, did not want the shooting guard, small forwards to get any love. Same thing for the power forward spot. Power forward spot only gets 1 additional shooting badge, whereas the center spot gets 3 additional defensive badges. So that's why you see most builds at the power forward center spot. If you can make it at the center, you're better off at the center because you get more badges, right? So, I mean, I'm pretty sure you watched my videos long enough you understand this, but this is for somebody that's just new, all right? So, again, you want to go compact because we're not going to do anything with the weight. Again, you still want to go 6'1". You have no choice but to go 6'1", right? And as you see, the block takes a massive hit. So you go down to 20, you get a 28, negative 28 on that, right? Then, of course, you want to keep your weight the same and you want to keep your wingspan the same. So in the grand scheme of things, you have a 96 speed, a whopping 74 strength. You have a 94 acceleration and a 96 vert. So all those numbers are really, really good. Those numbers will be duplicated also at the point guard spot. So, I mean, again, it's really your call. Honestly, guys, if you're just somebody that just wants to have, similar to Allen Iverson, you're somebody that wants to have a shooting guard by your name instead of point guard, go with this. It's not really much of a difference other than the fact of, yes, you do get 3 additional finishing badges at the point guard spot, 3 additional shooting badges at the point guard spot, and you also get 2 additional defensive badges at the point guard spot. So yes, you do get more badges, but attributes are going to be identical. All right, so it's really your call about those different badges. It's gonna make or break you. If you're a legend, it doesn't really make a difference at all, to be honest, because you're gonna have a ton of badges. But the good thing is that when you make an all-around two-way, even though he is short, and a lot of people wants to give flack about that, but the fact is that you're not going to be able to replicate these numbers, and that's what makes this build so good. Now, obviously, height does play a difference. We spoke about this numerous times. Height and wingspan and strength play a massive difference. So, yes, this build is going to be at a massive disadvantage when it comes to defense, defense in the paint, okay? Defense in the paint, and then also anything finishing at the basket. But if you're somebody that's gonna play perimeter defense, this build shines more on the threes, to be honest with you. On the twos, you can really get put in like a really bad situation. The threes and rec, this build will really, really shine because you have so much help in the paint. So it's not like you're really gonna have to worry about that. And again, if you're playing against somebody that's isoing, ideally you would want to have this build at the point, and then you would want to have a lockdown at the 2, and then whatever you want at 3 at the 3. The reason being I say you want to have a pure lockdown at the 2 is because if you do face against somebody that's isoing going to the paint, this build will get abused, okay? Because he's too small. If you play against people in the park and they actually just want to play normal, they're not trying to ISO, like have, they're 2 guys sitting in the corners, then you can play at the point with no issue. So just keep that in mind, all right? But other than that, this build really shines because the 89 perimeter defense, you get a 91 lateral quickness, you get a whopping 94 steal, okay? Those numbers are really, really good for pure reds, right? You get an 85 three-point shot, an 87 mid-range shot, you get an 81 driving dunk. These are extremely good numbers, right? So don't get deterred about the height of this build. You just have to understand what and who you need to play with, all right? And like I said again, playing on the 2s, not a good idea, all right? Not a good idea, because if you go get somebody that's going to ISO you, they're going to hop step the hell out of you, because there's not really much you can do because you're just too small, especially if this dude's a 6'5", 6'6", pure point, two-way slashing playmaker. You're going to be in some trouble, all right? So keep that in mind when you're doing that. And maybe if you was to do that, I think what you probably have to do is have a paint beast, pure red paint beast running with you, and then that paint beast guard that ISO in two-way slashing playmaker or whatever build ISO in, and you play corner on that glass lock or the rebounding wing. It's not ideal, but that might be the only way to offset that, just to keep that in mind also, right? But anywho, this is where you have to be creative. Again, if you're going to be playing with this build, the best way to play with this build could be either any of these 3 right here, right? Any of these 3. But for me, I would think that lockdown or shot creating takeover would be really, really good for this build because it just is so nasty with some of the things. So for me personally, I would go with shot creating takeover. I actually do have a two-way scoring machine, which is pretty much similar to this, and I put shot creating takeover. I know a couple of my friends did lockdown take, and that is toxic. So I mean, like, either or is really good. It can be very scary, all right? But we're gonna go with shot creating takeover, and here you have it, an all-around two-way, and it says similar to Allen Iverson. So obviously, if you do not know, Allen Iverson played majority of his career as a shooting guard. So even though most people recognize him as a point guard, I think out of his like 15 years, I think it was really kind of split down the middle, whereas the rosters had him as a point guard or has him as a shooting guard. But for 2K has him as a shooting guard, so that's why if you want to get similar to Allen Iverson, you have to go with the shooting guard, right? So now let's go ahead and test this build, give him the 99 real quick, and of course, you know, we'll get y'all out of here, right? Now, I know I've been throwing a lot of information in this one, and I might be talking a little fast, but hopefully you understood where I was coming from, the advantages and disadvantages of being a point guard. So the absolute best all-around two-way build was the point guard spot. But I just wanted to show my nephews and nieces the shooting guard position also, because a lot of us are tired of seeing just this point guard. But that's how it is. I know some people in the comment section be like, let me guess, another point guard build. Let me guess, another point guard build. Well, don't get mad at me, man. Get mad at 2K, because they're the ones that are giving so much benefits and rewards to being a point guard, right? It is unfortunate, and like I said, maybe I can go and talk about this. It is unfortunate that if you want to make a pure lockdown, right, you have to make him a point guard. I just think it's weird. Like, for me, I like to see like the way the game's actually played, and a lot of lockdown defensive builds aren't point guards in the NBA, right? A lot of the defensive shutdown players are going to be centers, power forwards, small forwards, and your shooting guard spots. Most of your scorers are going to be are going to be the point guard. Let me say this. Point guards are either going to be a scorer or a facilitator on the team. You know, you rarely would see a lockdown point guard. For obvious reasons, point guards aren't necessarily meant to be a lockdown defender, right? But, you know, it would be nice if 2K would have just kind of thought about that and said, like, listen, man, you know, they try to do that with the power forward spot, and I don't want to get too long on this, but they try to do that with the power forward spot by making power forwards get an extra shooting badge and centers got more defensive badges. I like that whole aspect, but they really just crapped on the shooting guards and the small forwards. But anyway, I digress. So with the only three badges here, you have to go with contact finishing Giant Slayer, and you might even be best going like this, because these are very important because you're all short, right? You only have 13 here. Remember, you have 16 at the point guard spot, but I would definitely go with these two. These two are the most important. You want to make sure you have these at all time, and then I would go with Green Machine. Obviously, if you have 3 additional badges, I would go Green Machine on silver, and then I will actually use my volume shooter maxed out to tireless shooter maxed out to Hall of Fame, right? You only have 11 here. Remember, you have 11 also with the point guard spot, but you want to go handles for days, you want to go quick first step. These are very important. You have to get Bell out on silver, and then you want to get your unpluckable. So you probably want to go here if need be, or maybe you can go bronze or silver. It doesn't matter. Maybe you can go like that. You're not able to get ankle breaker and space creator unless you want to get creative with that. You could, but again, the all-around two-way is an extremely rare build. It's a fun build, it's a dope name, but you're not going to get all the badges that you would want. Now here, of course, you want to go Clamps, Intimidator, you want to go Pick Dodger, and you want to go Tireless Defender, and then I will probably do Interceptor. You don't have to worry about Chase Down, Rebound Chaser, Rim Protector, and all that type stuff. I will go Interceptor, I'll look at Pickpocket and also Off-Ball Pest. I have some other ones that I would definitely be interested in trying to get also, okay? But there you have it, my nephews and nieces. This is the all-around two-way, the absolute best version of all-around two-way. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course, it's your man, Uncle Demi. I'll be back really, really soon with another banger, man. And you know, when I say I'll be back with another banger, you know exactly what day I'm talking about. I'm talking about tomorrow, man. I'm out.